Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the IMSA Challenge Championship 2022, presented by Pro Sim Racing. Co-hosted by GTP Gran Turismo, Panama, and Plebian Racing. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. Thank you, everybody, for coming to hang out with us for this 5-race series championship. Started off at Watkins, Glen, then off to Mosport, Road America, VIR, and then finishing here at Road Atlanta for the finale with a Motul Petit Le Mans style finale. This is going to be a 90-minute race in comparison to the last couple races, so the drivers will be having a simulated day-to-night transition where the temperatures will drop and will affect their tire pressures. So that will be something to consider going forward. Things have been awfully spicy here. Let's take a look at the spotter's guide and see who we have been seeing out on track. In the GTLM category, we had Jeffrey Bray in the 03 Corvette for Plebian Racing, Armando Hanley, Francisco Gonzalez, who's been showing up a lot in the Grapplebee's Porsche 911. Gene Reyes hasn't been seen too much of, but James Blint, James Leader, Adam Prugent, and Greg Schimmer are going to be the four to keep your eye on here tonight. Andreas Lopez, James Pendry, Michael Leonard, and Jamie Morrison wrapping it up for the category. But like I said, James Blint, James Leader, Adam Prugent, and Greg Schimmer have been the all-stars here tonight. Of all nights for the IMSA Challenge Championship, and we'll get to the point standings soon enough. In the GTD category, Vicente De Silva, Robert Walia, John Crane has been having a lot of close races with Arthur Pinell in that 38 Aston. Those two going at it for the last 2 races in a row, nose to tail. Matteo Venuti, Rafael Bressler, Luis Santamaria, Ramiro Dominguez, Mike Fazal, DJ Harris, Don DeBean, and we have Estefano Barrera. Don DeBean has also been having a great showing. Quiet, smooth, consistent racing throughout his championship so far. But we've had Ramiro Dominguez and Vicente De Silva nose to tail at Mosport, and they seem to be running about the same pace. Let's see if they have it in them again. In the TCR category, we have Dave Martin, Emiliano Videla, Simon Kemp, Brett Vaughn, Luke Bowmeister, who is down under on the points as well. We'll get to that later. Alep Jantan, Frederick Soderstedt, Muzam Zari, Alfonso Mason, and Pasha Patterson. Pasha Patterson has been chasing Frederick Soderstedt all championship long. Let's see if he can keep it close just like he did in the last race. He's been throwing everything he has against the wall, but Fred has just been darn consistent. Luke Bowmeister has not been racing so far, but Simon Kemp has been showing up and having decent races with everybody out. Now we're off to the standings. As long as qualifying isn't going, I'm taking a look. It looks like it is up. Let's get in there. Stand by. Here we go. It is qualifying, 10 minutes left on the board. Times have already been plummeting. Looks like James Blint's got a 117 on 119 for Pridgeon. Scheimer's still out there with a 120. But times will keep dropping as the track grips up just a little bit. As qualifying moves forward. James Blint with a commanding time. Let's see what Scheimer has in store. This ought to be a fast lap for him right now. Scheimer to the line, 118.8. That's good enough for provisional second place, right behind the Blint. But Blint is going faster through Sector 2 to make up for that time in Sector 1. Let's see what he's got to the line. 117.4. That puts him at more than a second clear of Scheimer and Pridgeon right now. Trailing behind, and James Leader just getting in. That's an outlap for him. And Francisco Jr. Gonzalez is back in action in his Porsche. So let's see what those two have in store. But James Leader showing up at the last minute in typical fashion. I wonder what he's going to be capable of doing, really, as he goes out on track and gets to the line. Scheimer's going quicker. That's 2/10 for himself. Oh my goodness, there's another 7. I wonder if this lap is actually valid. Getting through it, that's almost a second clear. That'll put him into the 117s if everything is this green and clean. Coming around the final corner to the line. Didn't see it change, couldn't have been a valid lap. Off to GTDs. Let's see what the boys and girls are up to here. Arthur Pinell getting chased down by Walia, who has been in command of his pace all the time that we've been able to see him. Luis Santa Maria throwing it up in a provisional second, only 3/10 back behind the warlord of Walia. Still chasing down Pinell, trying to find room. Nose to tail, 7:40 left on the clock. Plenty of time to get more laps done side by side down the mid-straight. Pinell's trying to cover it off into 7. Side by side. Walia has to go off into the grass, and that's the end of that run for him. Excuse me, that was turn 6 down at the bottom of the hill. Make sure I get that right going forward. On to Bean. Finishing up his run. Oh my goodness, James Blint at the top of the charts with a sub 17. That's a 16.9. I think there's a nail in a coffin there. James Leader with a 121. Not quite having it in the GTLM category, but sticking to GTDs right now. Fazal in the Ben Juice PSR badged car. Going around quite well. Oh, sorry folks, make sure we get chat up. My apologies, my apologies. We got it all. We got it all. We are good, folks. Luis Santa Maria throwing it around at the bottom of 5. Really is a beautiful track here. 5 minutes left on the clock. Let's not forget about our fellas in TCR. TCR, we've got Fred Soderstedt at the line. not at the line, at the bottom of the hill. That's 10 and 10 and 8. Up over 11 now, and here comes 12. Red Soderstedt, 12 flat. Pasha Patterson, 4/10 back right now, 28-4. But looking at Mason, who's been a good combatant for Simon Kemp all these races, is off into the gravel and the grass. Less than 5 minutes remaining for qualifying. He's going to have a little bit of time to get that done, but only if he hasn't ruined those tires yet. The times in GTD are awfully close, looking like the 119s to the 120s. I have to keep an eye on those. He'll be swapping back and forth. DJ Harris down to Bean, Arthur Pinell, all within 5/10. Oh, Pinell ruins that for me and jumps down to Bean. Now all those guys are within a second of each other. But Alfonso Mason right now is on track to put down a lap. Getting through 5 smoothly. Down the mid straight here. Getting into turn 6 is a little awkward. Right-hander. That's another right-hander right after. Didn't stay as far out as I thought he would. Touches over to the dirt. I wonder if that might invalidate his lap for reaching track limits like that, or if the dirt's just enough of a consequence in its own right. On the back straight and into 10. Cutting over, looking good. Dips a wheel off over the curb and into the grass, but smooth over 11. Doesn't drift out onto the runoff. Oh, and eats it over the curb of 12. Reaches track limits there at the line. Still holds on to that 131 for Alfonso Mason right now. Take another look at GTD right now. Luis Santa Maria. Solidly mid-pack right now. These times are amazing. 19-2, 19-7, 19-8, 19-8 again. And backwards, you got a 120, 120.5, and then a 129. It'll be nice packs of racing here for the category. This will be awfully exciting. Hello to the Insano. What's going on? Did not expect to see you here. Well, I guess it's Monday afternoon in Australia at this point. 1 minute, 30 seconds left of qualifying. Just woke up for work. Holy shit. Monday morning. I don't know how that works. It's 11 o'clock here. I guess, yeah, you're 4 hours behind me, but 18 hours ahead. Yeah, okay. Something like that. Yeah, something like that. Mike Fazal, still. Well, I want to do an onboard if we can get Santa Maria to hold it together. You might not be the one. Let's ride on board with Fazal. She still have. John Crane. everybody in GTLM looks to be in the pits. Greg Scheimer's still out there, coming over the hill right. Plummeting down into the S's. Coast to coast on this curbing, coming out early on the brakes at turn 5, going out a little wide, but not breaching track limits there. Plundering on down the hill towards turn 6. Awkward right-hander of turn 7. Doesn't want to touch the dirt and spin the tires, pushing hard down the back straight. This is Greg's last chance to get a lap in. He's only a 10th off of James Leader right now. I think he wants it. Wants it badly, setting himself up for 10 and 8 and 10B. It's a little squirrely there, but over the hill of 11, it looks good. Getting to 12, clean. Bunches, and that's Greg Scheimer able to leap James Leader. That's a 1:18.159 for his final. He's got it done. Let's head on over to the Discord and see what their drivers have to say about their qualifying session. All right, everybody, let's get to talking to the drivers. First up, we definitely want to hear from Greg Scheimer. Scheimer, we were on board with you as you finished up that lap. We were wondering if you were trying to jump over James Leader and get a front row start. Is that what you had on your mind?
Yes. I went across that line and there was like 10 seconds left when I crossed the line. I looked behind me and Adam was nowhere close to it, so I'm like, I need to put a good lap here to get one more lap in, and yeah.
Worked out well for you. Do you think you can keep up pace like that throughout this entire race while still overtaking cars, or do you think you might have to play a little bit of mind games going forward?
Definitely my games. There's no way I can keep that pace up. I'm race set up. I'm probably around midnight 18, so.
Right on. And what is your strategy for this long endurance race?
Not to die.
Sounds pretty reasonable.
This one's going in from day to night, and especially during the night, you're not gonna be able to see some breaking points depending on what you're picking. And if you haven't practiced, it's gonna be a little tricky. So, because there's some dark spots where you don't see the road, so the lights really hit on it from the cars. So, yeah, it's gonna be interesting come nighttime.
Really will be interesting when it gets to night. Absolutely. There are very few track lights out here, and maybe someone like Pasha Patterson can tell us a little bit about how treacherous it will be.
Well, it's going to be bad. The S's are very tight. There are some other places that are super tight. So people are really going to have to be gracious and generous with their lines, particularly the faster cars trying to, it's going to suck for them to be caught in T3 there at the top of the S's behind a slower car, but they're just going to have to deal with it, I guess, as best they can. There are some places where the TCRs are going to be able to let people through, on the back straight and front straight and some others, but it's going to be interesting. I don't know if you're watching TCR Quali, when I found how to launch myself into the old pits, but that was fun.
No, I didn't see that yet.
That inside curb there at the final corner going onto the front straight, as it turns out, if you get real aggressive with it, you can turn your car into an airplane. So that was fun.
Is that a strategy you'll be using in the race to save a little bit of time?
It is not. It steers a lot better with all the tires on the ground. So I'm gonna have to stick with that approach.
Fair enough. And off to the GTD category, I want to hear from Arthur Pinell. Pinell, you were off. There are two different groups in GTD, it looks like. There's a group that's kind of up ahead, and then there's a middle group, it looks like. And you were battling Don DeBean and John Crane in qualifying for a little bit just on time. And then all of a sudden, there you are chasing Robert Wallia's time. What happened, and are you eating the spinach that Popeye had?
No, I did not eat any spinach, unfortunately. Maybe if I did, I could gain the 5/10 I needed to get Walia. But yeah, I just had a bit of some mistakes in the laps before, and then all of a sudden, I think on that fast lap, I gained like 3/10 on the corner after the S's. And then
So turn 5 down at the bottom of the hill?
Yeah, turn 5 at the bottom of the hill. I just gained 3/10 through there. I managed to keep the advantage to like 1 or 2/10 through the final couple corners, and then, or sorry, not the final couple corners, but the next couple of corners, the double right-handers. And then on the second to last corner through the chicane, I managed to get a good exit, and then, yeah.
Yeah, 6 and 7 are awfully tricky, just as tricky as the bottom of the hill of 5. It's deceivingly slow, I guess is the way to say it. You want to go in there and carry a lot of speed, but the reality is gotta just kind of be patient and timid with it, especially on the exit of turn 7. That's where it'll catch you off guard and you'll get thrown into that dirt out there.
Yep, for sure.
Are you looking forward to battling anybody in particular tonight, Pinell?
If I could choose, I wouldn't be battling anybody, and I'd be miles out in front. But I don't know. I think I'll see how it goes, and I'll try my best.
Right on, right on. Is the server live by any chance? Anybody know?
Anybody knows?
It is.
Yep.
Well, I should probably get into that.
You got 2.5 minutes.
Oh, fantastic. Who else wants to be interviewed for this? Then I'll jump up at once. James Almost Leader, how do you feel getting punked by Greg Scheimer? This question from the chat.
Well, I mean, Greg did a really good lap there. Unfortunately, I had a friend stopping by to pick something up in the middle of qualifying, so I wasn't able to defend it. I had to leave a few minutes before the end, but I got a good lap in that I'm pretty happy with, and then to come back and see that Greg had got me by a 10th, like, it's gonna be a good race.
Your friend's check's in the mail.
I made a couple of last-minute setup changes that I haven't really run more than like 2 laps with, so yeah, I'm interested to see how the car is going to handle. I know especially as the fuel gets low, this Porsche can get a little bit sketchy, so I'm hoping at the end of the stint it doesn't try to kill me.
I'm going to make sure that the camera stays on you when we get close to the halfway point then.
Oh no, I got the pressure now.
Someone who's been a little too quiet for my taste is Don DeBean, sitting back here in 10th place. What's going on,
I'm
Don?
here. Oh, not much. I'm ready to get this underway and get the grip up to 98% because I can't do shit at 97, that's for sure.
On my screen, it looks like it is loaded at 98%.
I think it'll start at 97, but it'll go to 98 pretty quick. And that's my happy place, 98 and above. So I'm hoping for, something good, but got to hold on and to these fast guys and the Beamers and the Astons. Had some good battles, but and Mike is way faster than me in the same car. So I'm going to be trying to keep from being last, and I know how to do that by staying out of trouble. That's what I'm going to do. That's my objective.
That's a really good objective, and you're really good at playing that plan out, so I won't hold it against you to make your way through the field slowly but surely.
Yep. Risk management. Oh, looks like we're getting ready to roll.
Absolutely. Good luck to everybody. Have a good one.
Thanks.
Alrighty then, enough of that rigmarole. Let's get the auto cam on and right on board. Taking a slow lap around, let's take a look at what Road Atlanta has in store. Turn 1, fast right-hander, deep and long. Be careful about the runoff off to the left. Once you touch the grass, it will be your demise. Turn 2 leads right into turn 3, top of the hill that Pasha was talking about, plummeting down into the S's. There's really only one line through here. Once you catch someone at the top of the hill of turn 3, make your way down through is turn 4 and the S's. Turn 5, steep uphill left-hander. You usually want to end up into the runoff off to the right-hand side of James Glen, but he's taking the formation lap route, leading the pack. Leading them into turn 6 right now after the mid-straight. Leading into the right-hander, second right-hander, that is turn 7. Everybody about to get formed up. Down the back straight we go, leading him out at 120 kilometers per hour. Oop, that's the wrong button. Pack is forward, pack is tight, GTLMs all looking good. James Blint, Greg Schimmer, James Leader, Adam Pridgeon, Francisco Jr. Gonzalez, Robert Walia, Arthur Pinell, Luis Santamaria, Mike Fazal, Don DeBean, DJ Harris, John Crane, Frederick Sorstedt, Pasha Patterson, Alfonso Mason, and Simon Kemp all taking the start here for the finale. Oh, a little hiccup there from Greg Scheimer and a lockup just on the formation. And Francisco Jr. Gonzalez not knowing quite where to go. Red light is on, locked into 80 kph. Getting to the line now, still holding. Green, green, green. The drivers are away, and there's a little bit of a jump as, oh my goodness, Adam Pridgeon wants to make a move on Scheimer into turn 1, but that opportunity is close, and oh my goodness, James Leader is off at turn 1, falling down the pack behind the GTDs, who started awfully close, and Robert Walia's through on the lead man, and so is Pinell. He's gonna have to fight his way back through the pack. But Greg Scheimer looks to be doing all right, and so is Pinell. Francisco Jr. Gonzalez is already down into 7th place, where the category may have gotten led off by the leader. Leader's past Pinell now, no side-by-side into 6th. Towards 7, Pinell has the inside line. He's going to put up a fight a little bit, hold Leader up. Leader's going to have to be able to stretch his legs on this back straight to get around Pinell, and he does. Spicy opener for now. Plummeting down the hill and in towards 10. Simon Kemp trying to make a move on Pasha Patterson on the inside of 10. Pasha leaves a little bit of room in anticipation of that, but can't quite keep it up there. He has to back out and go single file behind Patterson for now. James Leader chasing down Robert Walia. We always talk about Robert Walia's pace. He sure is quick, man. Michael Fazal under threat from Luis Santamaria right now, and that's Don DeBean chasing right behind, staying awfully close to the pack he said he couldn't keep touch with. He's doing it. hugging onto that slipstream. James Leader right now, heavy on the brakes. Kept it real close there. I thought they were gonna kiss, but apparently not. Thank goodness. Things will remain mostly orderly for now. DJ Harris in the Ascension Racing Sport Aston, the number 98, trailing the GTD pack right now. Oh no, we've got Pridgeon off somewhere. Pridgeon's off and spun around. That looks like the bottom of the hill at the top of the hill. That's turn 3 at the S's. Had something go wrong and he's off. Down into 12th place. He just can't seem to get a break, but look at Santa Maria trying to take a peek at Fazal right now. Here we are coming through 7. Santa Maria is sniffing. Almost getting held up right now by Francisco Jr. Gonzalez. Squishing his GTD pack together from this GTLM, and it looks like there's going to be another move. That's Santa Maria on Fazal, side by side into the bottom of the hill of 10. Can't act on it though. That gave Francisco Jr. Gonzalez some room to breathe. As now Fazal's a second back, and maybe these guys can stretch their legs a little bit to try to get around Fazal or try to get around Francisco Jr. Gonzalez. But the gap's already been closed up. Nose to tail, Santa Maria on Fazal. I don't know how much longer my voice can keep up with this accordion that's happening. They keep on expanding and contracting every lap. There goes Santa Maria now on Fazal on the outside, maybe attacking into 6, can't hold on the long way around. Ducks in back for 7. And Don DeBean has the best view in the house of this action. That's right on board. Kemp and Mason having a moment. Thought I saw something go down, maybe not. I'm casually getting around John Crane there at the bottom of the hill into the chicane of 10-10. Oh, there goes Pridgeon on to Bean. He's through before turn 1. That's where we saw him have his moment right up here. Oh my goodness, it looks like kerfunkeling going on up ahead. And Fazal's finally through on Francisco Jr. Gonzalez in the gravel beast. He's got significant damage on that left-hand side. I wonder if that came from Fazal. Probably not though. Oh no, and DeBean bottomed out over the curb at the bottom of the hill of turn 5. And he's spun sideways. Looks like that opened up an opportunity for DJ Harris and John Crane to have a moment. But just one look is all he needed, and Harris held on. Held on to that chance. Luis Santamaria and Anna Pridgeon side by side. Going into 10. He's through now. Luis Santamaria not being able to get around Francisco Jr. Gonzalez has let Mike Fazal absolutely walk away with a 4-second gap almost. Oh, excuse me, a 2-second gap side by side. Lock up for Gonzalez, trying to battle it out with Pridgeon for his category in GTLM. Holding on by a thread. Santa Maria follows Pridgeon through at the top of hill, turn 3, but they're still side by side going into the S's, and Gonzalez is able to back out, and Santa Maria is through. Now almost a second back from Pridgeon and another 3 seconds back from Fazal. Holy Toledo. And that was a good side-by-side. Lockup from Santa Maria, Francisco Jr. Gonzalez headed down into turn 6. Look at DJ Harris chasing down John Crane. 10th place. 6th place for the category. DJ Harris absolutely staying within touching distance of John Crane right now. Only 7/10 back, staring at his derriere. Waiting for another golden opportunity to use him. Probably will come once they start running into traffic, which can't be too long from now. Looks like the leaders are running into TCR traffic right now. James Glen has made his way past. Looks like he will be following. DJ Harris only 4/10 back right now from John Crane, moving his way down into 10 and 10A, really closing down the gap on John Crane. I wonder what is going through his mind, or if this is just playing into the strategy. Maybe a little fuel saving going on. We're only not even 15 minutes in. We've got a long way to go before we even think about the halfway mark, folks, when the people will start coming into the pits. 3/10 now from Crane to John Crane to DJ Harris, excuse me. Man, this is nose to tail right now. And this is gonna be all over again what we saw with, Mike Fazal and Santa Maria. We've got Francisco Jr. Gonzalez. He's gonna be the cork of the bottle, holding these guys up, allowing opportunities to happen. Let's see how these guys will navigate the GTLM, slower GTLM in front of them going forward. Ooh, DJ Harris really late on the brakes there, trying to close down that gap like he did last time. I think he may have pushed it just a little too hard, trying to find that margin as they approach the TCRs as well. There goes Francisco Jr. Gonzalez trying to get by the TCR, and he's through cleanly. So is so is John Crane. But now DJ Harris might get stuck behind him at the top of the hill at turn 3. No, Simon Kemp gracefully dodges out of the way and allows them to continue their race on. But that actually may have helped DJ Harris, because he didn't have to put up a fight anymore. Traffic is going to give it, the traffic is going to take it away. Oh, Francisco Jr. Gonzalez having a moment. Oh, no. Looks like he may have bumped the TCR of Mason in the rump. Came to a screeching halt, and that's when John Crane bumped into the rear end of him. And then that caused, obviously, DJ Harris to check up. And then now you have this three-way battle going into the bottom of the hill at turn 10. The GTLM is back through on DJ Harris. And he's not going to be too thrilled about that, I can't say so. that gap is wide now. Now that Francisco Jr. Gonzalez is right there between the two fighting GTDs. Big lockup from Gonzalez. Couple lockups everywhere. You see the smoke. Really exerting his patience. Having to go wide to avoid hitting him. What else is going on? We've got Pasha Patterson getting passed by Luis Santamaria and Mike Fazal. This race is still on between the two GTDs up at the front. This is the battle for third place we're watching the chase on. Pasha Patterson already 17 seconds behind Fred Soderson. I wonder if a moment happened and caused them to repel from each other that way, or that's just the gnarly pace that's sitting on them. That's a big old moment for Fazal. That'll let Santa Maria through. Big old code brown from Fazal. Didn't see it happen. It happened so quick. And now we have Santa Maria through. And now the chase for third place has inverted itself. Santa Maria leads Fazal in the Bin Juice racing car. Holy Toledo, hold your breath. Fastest lap coming out is James Leader. Showing up with no practice, as always. Now is 6 seconds behind the leader of James Glen. He's got to have some strategy in store for how to deal with that. Drive fast, sounds like a good one. Drive fast and stop less than the other guy. That sounds like a good strategy in my opinion. I gotta say, Pridgeon has made an amazing recovery drive. He's already back in it, up to 5th place. Only 11 seconds behind Robert Walia and 16 seconds back from Scheimer right now. That is actually really remarkable after he's coming from the back of the field. DJ Harris is finally through on Francisco Jr. Gonzalez, who looks to have had a moment up the top of the hill, turn 3. Making his way down to the S's, lets Sabine through. And DJ Harris is now 5.5 seconds abreast from John Crane. That's a lot of ground to make up in a short amount of time, but, excuse me, in a short amount of time. I should take that back. This is endurance racing, folks. We have an hour and 11 minutes left. Plenty of time to make that gap come and go. Oh, Francisco Jr. Gonzalez having a big old twitch at the end of 7. Almost driving his car right into a barrier. Thank goodness it wasn't so. Watch out for the accelerated time, folks. We will be simulating the Motul Petit Le Mans. So we will be heading into darkness sooner than you think. Kind of ignore the timing tower at the top. I don't believe it'll move with the real time of the game as it's modified. It'll be a nice change, as the drivers talked about. There will be some danger zones to watch out for, just absolute darkness in certain areas, so be mindful of that. Hopefully all the cars will be illuminated well and illuminated properly. We'll still be able to tell who's who and what's what. Alfonso Mason still chasing down. It looks like Simon Kemp in front, only a second abreast. That's Greg Scheimer making his way through in the GTLM category. This is the second time that the TCR category has been lapped. Santa Maria chasing down Pinell now. We talked about Pinell being able to stay out in front and chase down Walia. Looks like Santa Maria's got his number picked. Able to get around that earlier cork in the bottle, and now chasing down. Here's Mason on Kemp, just like we talked about in the pre-race conversation. Chasing him down for the category. This is Robert Walia trying to insert himself into the S's. Not going to happen there. Santa Maria still chasing down Pinell, on board with him. Into the top of the hill at turn 3. Santa Maria, excuse me, that's Pinell in front, having a bit of a moment. Side by side at the S's. Contact is made. Santa Maria has to go off and rejoin Pinell. Pinell had a moment at the top of the hill, turn 3. Santa Maria tried to take advantage, and there just wasn't room to make it grow into an opportunity. Nose to tail into 6, trying to make an opportunity happen at the end. Turn 7, getting a big ol' run on Pinell. Getting that run side by side down the hill into 10. Can he make this work? He's long on the brake. So is Pinell. Deep they go, still leading the charge. All this fighting is going to invite Mike Fazal back into it. He can see the fighting brewing ahead as he just crosses into our view. There he is right now behind them both. Oh, no, 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 no. Santa Maria has a spin at turn 1. Almost reverses into the track. Fazal has to take the grass to go around him. But Santa Maria is back on the throttle, pointing in the right direction. It's clear around him now. Oh no, Santa Maria's got something terribly wrong with his car, or his tires are overheated to boot, because he just spun again at turn 5. Now he's behind DJ Harris. He's got to let those tires cool down before he can push like that again. On board with Pasha Patterson, the gap is now increased to 21.5. Anybody's game. This is endurance racing. Anything can happen, folks. Down the hill, on board with John Crane, looking at the line, headed into turn 1 right now. Fourth place for him, separated by DJ Harris by about 5 seconds right now, after we had a little involvement from Francisco Jr. Gonzalez. Separating the two of them for a little while and having that gap grow dramatically. James leader still about 6.5 seconds, 6 seconds away from James Blake. That really hasn't come and gone either way. James leader should still be holding on to the fastest lap of the race, though, as far as I can tell. There it is. That's James Blint chasing down Luis Santamaria. GTLM's finally getting past the GTD category. Santamaria holding onto the inside line, having James Blint go around. Now this is the traffic that will affect how the lead goes from here. Similarly paced cars around this track will lead to a lot of issues. Looks like Devine is around Francisco Jr. Gonzalez, who's parked at the top of the hill in completely blind spot at turn 5. Say the bottom of the hill there, and that allows Scheimer to go through without wasting too much time. Scheimer's now got the TCR of Alfonso Mason in front at turn 7 to get past. Should be able to get through him cleanly, walk past him straight, no big deal. Adam Pridgeon up next to get around the TCRs. Pasha Patterson on the chopping block. Smooth as a baby's bottom. That's through cleanly. Pasha getting tucked in to try to get some of that slipstream. Elbow with that top speed down the back straight into 10 and 10A. Alfonso Mason coming to the line, 129.9 being that last lap for him. There we go. There's James Blint now getting through on DJ Harris. Next up on the list, but this is a tricky spot. This is exactly where he was catching Luis Santamaria. Now Harris is only a second back from Crane. Are you kidding me? It's Fred getting passed by Francisco Jr. Gonzalez. I'm curious how this Slinky's back in 4th. With Santamaria, with James Blint and John Crane and DJ Harris now. Gap up to 2.5 seconds with DJ Harris making a mistake. He's got a significant amount of time to John Crane with that battle with James Glen, letting him go through. Oh no, Alfonso Mason's out. Oh no. I am terribly sorry for that. It is a good race for the most part. Oh, Alfonso, I'm sorry. Thank you. Thank you for the correction. It's always sad to see that. I mean, it's a good race, good championship. But yeah, when you're just not having it, you're just not having it. John Crane, and that's the leader behind. Getting out of the way is Crane, doing the best that he could. Leaders through at turn 1, and now DJ Harris has got him in his sights. He wants a piece of the Crane. Through the S's, can't make anything happen, just have to fall single file. Punch through turn 5. That's where the different lines will make or break you. Now John Crane is having to defend on the inside line, moving back to the racing line, holding on to it the best he can. Looks like DJ Harris is getting squirrely with the car, having the rear end step out and get the rear end to rotate for him. Great job. Car control. Still keeping it close. He's faster than Crane ahead last time around by a couple tenths. You got to be faster by more than a couple tenths to make an overtake happen unless there's a huge mistake. Really sending it over the curve with 3 and 3A, but they got TCR traffic ahead. John Crane's trying to time this perfectly so that he gets the advantage. That, oh, a little lock up there that Harris can't get. See how this plays out. Pasha's holding on to the inside line here at 6. Tucks in behind Harris as they both make their way through. And that's Santa Maria now behind Pasha, trying to make sure that he can get through behind and back into this battle. That is awfully the worst. And especially because you and Simon Kemp typically have such a good time together. I was hoping for the best. Poor Simon Kemp is off trundling around by himself right now, about a minute adrift from Patterson right now, but still involved in the race and keeps on going, being a good TCR and allowing faster cars to make their way around him. But there it is, that's DJ Harris having a moment and allowing Santa Maria to make his way through now. At turn 5. Oh, a little glitch from Harris. Oh, goodness, he's back on. And now single file for the 3 GTDs. That is the trickiest part about it. I mean, this is why I think it was pushed to the last race of the season, because how tricky it would be to work the overtaking. And here comes Francisco Jr. Gonzalez in the pits to serve. Oh, and he's got a 5-second penalty for speeding. In the pits. Francisco Jr. Gonzalez is want to get all of it damage repaired, excuse me. He's got quite a bit of it. If he can get that taken care of, he'll be in good shape. Santa Maria still trying to put the work on John Crane up ahead and for 9th and 8th place. This is for 5th place in the category. 4th place, excuse me. TJ Harris now still has them in their sights. Has that adrenaline pumping. He's moving off the racing line to take a peek at what's going on ahead. Jumping around just a little bit. Going on. Santa Maria on the inside of John Crane at 10. He's through trying to make it work. Coast to coast on the curves. John Crane still ahead, holding on to that Aston ahead of that Beamer. He's got the track position at turn 12. He's not giving up that easy. There's Santa Maria making a look at turn 1. John Crane knows you can't really make that work. A little bump in the run from Santa Maria, and Santa Maria's off at turn 1 again. He's been there before, let off the gas this time, tucked in behind TJ Harris. Now he's got to make that work happen all over again. What an epic GTD finale we have in front of us, folks. This is amazing. Spicy, spicy, spicy. I don't think we've had a great battle all year long. Oh, folks. Knock on wood. James Leader has whittled down that 6-second gap from James Blint down to 4. Santa Maria trying to make a move on TJ Harris, makes it done at turn 10. No holds barred, he's through. 4.4 for Leader, let's keep looking. And it has not much to do with lap traffic because Pinell's in 6th place right there. He's the only one separating Blint and Leader right now. We have TCR traffic holding up John Crane right now through the S's. Oh my goodness, Santa Maria's sniffing the dairy air of John Crane. Oh no, flew a little too close to the sun. Got hung up at the bottom of the hill riding behind him. Oh my goodness, Santa Maria has the pace alone to do it. But man, just trying to make these overtakes happen is exactly what Cold Phantom was talking about. Just trying to make people get past people or let people pass is so challenging, and it has to be just so well thought out and versed, almost practiced, is how challenging these overtakes look to be. Here's James Leader now getting held up by Pinell into the S's like I talked about earlier. Hopefully this doesn't ruin his progress that he's made, that 4.5-second gap. Let's take a look at how he navigates around Pinell on the inside now, the outside of turn 5, takes to the inside line at turn 6 to make sure that he has the move done and won't have to put up a fight around the outside. He's got it done at 6, through at 7, guaranteed, leading Pinell back. That's 5 now up for James Leader, so a little bit of hindrance to the progress that he's made, but not too bad overall. really just doing a fantastic job putting down the lap after lap to get behind Glen. It's now through on Kemp, but Kemp is now in front of leader. Oh my goodness, how is this going to work out? And is he going to get to him before turn one? No way in heck. Not that I can think of. He's through. He's through on Kemp. That's more time in the bag. Kemp locks up into turn one. Had nothing to do with leader's actions. But he's through. Good, good, good. There's a chance, folks. 50 minutes left. We are just getting started, folks. We are just getting started, almost to the halfway point. We're gonna want to see how these cars liven up as the fuel loads drop, as the tires wear away. Oh, Blint on Patterson from a great deal back. Pasha just left the door open to make sure he got through. Looks like Adam Pridgeon is coming in for his regularly scheduled service. Coming in at the 48 mark for him, almost cutting it right in half. 45, if my math is right. For the 90-minute race. Pridgeon looks to be back out on track now, coming out of the pits behind Simon Kemp in opportune time. Right at the S's, he makes his way around in turn 3 cleanly, just like the boys at IMSA do. You can still make that work around the long end, around the outside there. A long way around. Let's make that work, but gotta have compliance. And negotiate with the car you're passing to make sure that they're on board with that overtake as well. Make that work successfully. DJ Harris is still about a second and a half back from John Crane. Gap is coming and going. Robert Wallia still in GT. I just thought about it. Adam Pridgeon's trying to go for the undercut of the century. Where is he out on track? 7th? Adam Pridgeon might be on track to do the undercut of the century. He's got amazing track position right now. He's free and clear of everybody. There's John Crane going past Simon Kemp again. DJ Harris is also through at the top of the hill. I think he's going for the undercut at the century. He's got new tires. He's got his fuel load. He is going for it now. Free, clear, open air. Everybody else might pit into traffic, as we saw. So let's find out what he's up to. Who else came in pit? Luis Santa Maria into the pits now. Coming out, there he is. Don DeBean, 5-second penalty for speeding into the pits. That'll be catastrophic to his chances. And there's the P-Man himself in 7th place. I think he's just going to plug away. The people in front of him are just going to pit out of his way. He'll have nothing to worry about. The number 14 of Pasha Patterson. next ahead, and then it's Mike Fazal in the GTD. He's going to have to pit, like I just said, sooner rather than later as we approach the 45-minute mark. Pridgeon has had 3 laps to get his tires up to temperature and get them working. So fine. I don't think anybody can go for the full 1.5 hour mark. People might be able to go for a surprising splash and dash if they've really been managing their tires carefully. Traffic given the traffic taketh. DJ Harris coming down to the under 1 second mark now as James Leader looks to have made his way through on the 2 GTDs. James Leader also took his pit then, from what it looks like. Adam Pridgeon as well. Santa Maria, Don DeBean, Francisco Jr. Gonzalez, as we talked about, and Alfonso Mason taking his DNF. James Leader 43 seconds back from Blint. I wonder what this means up ahead. So there he is, back in second place, right ahead of these guys. And you can see on the mini-map, the number 1 just getting to turn 10 right now. Let's watch what James Blint is gonna do. He's still out on track. James Blint is still out on track. But the number 4 of Robert Walliott is into the pits as we see a little net code from DJ Harris for just a second. And the Aston slinking to John Crane. Robert Wally is still in the pits, so is Pinell now entering the pits for the first time. Adam Pridgeon making his way past those folks now. It's past Pinell, not one less car he's going to have to fight out on track, but he's got, I think, Mike Fazal right in front of him, unfortunately. Uh-oh, there's Pinell's in the pits, I'm sorry. There's Pinell in the pits, unfortunately, I'm sorry. Where is Pridgeon out on track, making his way to the midsection now, and like I said, he's behind Mike Fazal. After we get the GTD, GTLM difference here on the back straight. Is it enough for him to stretch his legs? It sure is. Pridgeon is through, 4th position overall. Man, what an undercut. Unbelievable. Pridgeon only 4 seconds back from Robert Wallier right now. And if I'm not mistaken, we still need to see Scheimer pit. And James Blint still has to pit right now. Let's keep it. Oh, God. This is going to be exciting. This is going to be exciting. We need to see James Blint still pit. And there goes DJ Harris pitting out from John Crane, trying to go for an undercut. Looks like Crane is going long. And I wonder if he's got the pace with the tire wear and the low fuel load to keep up. Are we on board with? Who are we on board with? There goes Crane. That means that's DJ Harris still out on track. I apologize. Inverse that. Flip it and reverse it. John Crane is into the pits, pitting out from that battle, and DJ Harris is still out, mustering on, trying to finally get an overcut on John Crane and get past him after they've been glued to the hip for the first 40-50 minutes of this race. In Santa Maria again at turn 1. Saw John Crane exiting the pits and just flinched at it, and now we have Fred Soderstad getting a 5-second penalty, entering the pits for themselves. Mike Vazal into the pits now. Scheimer's only 40 seconds ahead of Pridgeon right now, and Pridgeon keeps on making the progress that he has been. That means Scheimer's just going to get overtaken by going into the pits now. Not something he's going to have anything to do to combat going forward. He's going to have to make it up on track then. That's the way this is going. Uh-oh, DJ Harris into the pits next to Mike Fazal now. Pinell is through and into 6th place for the category. Still a ways back from Walia. Looks like Pinell's about 37 seconds back from Walia in 2nd place for the category. Mike Fazal's only 5 seconds back from Pinell, so Pinell's going to be under threat in the final closing minutes of the race as we approach the golden hour of Road Atlanta. The sun is setting, and the track temperature will be falling. Temperature now 24, 26 degrees. I wonder how the tires are feeling. You can see the shade has overcome turn 1 now, so if you're using shadow as a brake marker, your SOL at this point, it's gone. All right, getting it back together now. DJ Harris is now in front of John Crane. Make sure I have that right. Yep, it's done. DJ Harris has gotten past John Crane in the pit cycle. James Blint looks to have taken their pit as well. He's only 5 seconds ahead of James Leader. What about Greg Scheimer has not taken their pit still? There's Pridgeon chasing down James Blint behind him. Glen Santa Maria comes to the pits, hopefully not speeding. Santa Maria has got to be happy to get off those tires that have been spun on a few times during that opening stint. Some scenic shots of Pinell making his way around the track as we switch over to James Blint, leading the charge 6.5 seconds ahead of James Leader. And Fred Soderstedt sitting on that 5-second penalty, but won't do much other than just be a nick in that armor. He's 40 seconds ahead of Pasha Patterson right now. Hopefully everybody knows how to turn their lights on or has their lights on already for safety, because it is getting dark awfully quick and the sun is starting to get into some of the drivers' eyes, I can only imagine. the glares getting into something for a little bit of your eye at the top of the hill. Here we go. That's where it's really bad at the top of turn 3. Down the S is not so much though. Oh, a little bit of it into turn 5. Uh-oh. Greg Scheimer getting passed by Robert Walia. Must have been... I wonder if that was his pit cycle. It sure was. That was a pit cycle for Greg Scheimer, rotating him back into 3rd place for the category. Fourth place overall. So he's not going to put up too much of a fight there. Let him through. Real battle is behind with Adam Pridgeon. 5th place, 14 seconds adrift. Had a big old incident to get the race started. Typical Pridgeon style. Always has to make it a little bit harder on himself, but he's making his way through. He's walking fast. He's walking fast. I messed it up. It's okay. 14 and a half seconds behind Greg Scheimer right now is Pridgeon. He's going to try to make it up in the next 33 and a half minutes. Let's see if he can do it. Michael Fazal in GTD right now, holding on to 3rd place, 11 seconds adrift from Pinell. He's going to want to make something happen. He knows he's got some consistency. Make something work. Is this right? DJ Harris is now having to pit. I thought he had already pit though. I believe DJ Harris is now making a 2nd stop and he's disconnected from the race. Alright, well that explains it. Our 2nd DNF of the night. That is a shame. DJ Harris is putting up a great fight for the position with John Crane. Greg Scheimer about to get lapped by 2nd place. James Leader stuck behind at the top of the hill. Hopefully able to get past there soon. There's Pridgeon chasing him down right now. There's no complaints about another faster car holding him up. Oh no! Scheimer must have had a moment. Saw a glimpse of red. Where is he? Oh no, he spun off at 5. Just as soon as we looked away, Scheimer had a moment at the bottom of the hill at the S's of 5. Pridgeon is now hunting like a great white shark. Smelt the blood in the water and will act on it. Oh no, Pinell's now having a moment at the same place, turn 5. Same place. I wonder if there's something out on track causing that to happen. Or is it just the temperature dropping so dramatically? Maybe they can't see well in that corner. Something's going on at turn 5. That's for sure. Back over to Wally World. Walia, 3rd place overall. 1st place in the GTD category. TCR traffic sandwiching between Greg Scheimer and Plebian, but no, that TCR's off. Excuse me, it looks like Scheimer was off, excuse me, and the TCR getting sandwiched between them. And now Plebian is through. Scheimer has to make his way around the TCR again, trying his hardest. Oh, little lock up there from the TCR, and Greg Scheimer's through again. That's gotta be Fred Soderstedt. Yeah, in the red Seal Thim Racing Honda. Plunge into darkness now. Simon Kemp is parked at turn 1, folks. Yellow flag at turn 1. He's back going again, thankfully. Complete darkness is upon us. We've got 26 minutes remaining in this race. James Blint leading James Leader, overall GTLM leader. This is 10 and a bit change, 10, 11 seconds lead against James Leader. Robert Walia leading the GTD category is about 20 seconds ahead, a little more than that for the GTDs. Robert Walia is actually right behind James Leader right now, pushing him around the track. Oh no! Robert Walia sends it into turn 12, hits the curb, and kisses the wall, the pit wall. This is gonna be interesting for, oh my God, are his lights not on either? Robert Walia had a big moment. 9/10 back from Pinell is Mike Fazal. This is going to get spicy, folks. If Robert Walia has enough damage to where he might not even have lights in front of him, he's going to have to pit, and that's going to cost him at least 50 seconds. This will shove him right back into the clutches of Pinell. Oh my goodness, yeah, 47, 50 seconds. Let's see what Robert Walia has to do in the final closing minutes with that significant amount of damage into that pit wall. we haven't even gotten a good look at it because it's so dark out here. He's staying out on track for now. Robert Wally is staying out on track right now. He's not gonna pit for the repairs. Car looks okay as far as we can tell. God, it is dark into turn 1, pitch black. There's Don DeBean. I believe that's John Crane up ahead with a purple banner. Looking great. I love how that's illuminated for the category GTD. Well, at least for his car, GTD. Here's what's been brewing for GTD. Battle for third place right now. Excuse me. This is second place overall. Second and third. Arthur Pinell battling out with Michael Fazal. Sixth and seventh overall. But like I said, second and third for the category. Pinell said he had no business being up here. But he's been up at the front and holding on for dear life for the past hour and 10 minutes. Let's see if he can keep this pace going. Pasha Patterson looking forward now in 13th place for a TCR category. He's second in the category. Yeah, let's get back to Fazal and Pinell. TCR now getting involved in this. Gonna play a huge impact on how this gets done. Can't make the turn in at turn 12 for Pinell's gonna get choked up now. Has to get it done before turn 1. There are other opportunities at turn 3. Who's that going around the outside? That's Jay Blitt making it 3 wide. Pinell's through at turn 1. Flazal's not quite there yet. Holding off for just another second. Being patient for now. Holding on. Fazal made sure that he didn't get anybody involved with the next. Excuse me, that he made sure that he didn't get Fred Soderstad involved in the accident that got over to the gap and chasing everybody through. Very patient. Now he's got 2 seconds to make up in 20 minutes. I think he can do it. Pinell's making mistakes. I think he feels the pressure is on. He's got the orange on his Aston. Mike Fazal already behind Arthur Pinell now. Oh my goodness, less than half a second. They're at turn 7, I think. It's so dark I can't even tell where they are out on track. Looks like Mike Fazal's banner's not working. You can't see him on the front. Look at those cars light up in the darkness. That's gorgeous. Oh my god, AutoCam, you're killing me. Fazal's backed off just a little bit now. Giving him some room to work on Arthur Pinell. Seeing it at the top of the hill. Or you can close the gap, but there's not much you can do now. You're trapped into the S's. After file, single file, Pinell yeets his way over the curb, feeling the pressure, pushing his car hard. Fazal is looking for a way through. Pinell's not making any opportunities happen. Oh, there it is, side by side on the back straight now. Tight as can be. Down the hill they go. Oh, heavy on the brakes for Pinell. Covers it off on the inside. Fazal has nothing to say about it. Oh my goodness. No. Scheimer has a DNF. Dropping out of 5th place. He talked about possibly having a error in his software, and man, if that's what caused it, heartbreak for him. In the finale, Pinell has a moment at the bottom of the hill at the S's, trying to clutch on to his 2nd place trophy. This is definitely going to allow Fazal an opportunity on this mid-straight. Around the outside, around turn 6 is a hard place to do it. Can he get a switchback? No. Turn 7, single file, holds on, pushes out. Got Pasha Patterson ahead now. That is confirmed. Greg Scheimer's out. Now Mike Fazal's trying to box in Pinell behind the TCR of Pasha Patterson. It's going to be 3 abreast headed down the hill into turn 10A. Pinell side by side with Fazal. It's a mirror of what we saw before. Pinell holds on just in front of Fazal, who is gingerly pushing behind, I should say. One of these days I'll figure out what I'm actually trying to say. James Leader now getting involved in this. GTLM through on Fazal. Fazal now has a GTLM separating him and his victim, Arthur Pinell. This will give him a little bit of an opportunity to breathe. He's got to be careful about how he lets James Leader by. Greg Scheimer is able to rejoin the race and get back to it, hopefully. He's still ahead of Francisco Jr. Gonzalez by a little bit. Should be able to hold on to that. There's James Leader through Pinell now. 21 seconds behind Plint. Looks like Francisco Jr. Gonzalez is now through on Greg Scheimer, who's still in the pit lane, possibly locked out of his controls. Mike Fazal around the outside at turn 6 again. Oh, can't command the track space there, but still trying every time. He knows he's got a big old run out of Pinell on that mid-straight there, out of the bottom of the S's. He's definitely a lot faster. Trying to make something work. Trying to make something work and happen. 4, 6, and 7 will be hard to do with the Cash Arthur Pinell off the step. Thinking 2, Pinell looks pretty planted into turn 1. Not much Fazal can do. The Hobbit Hill at turn 3. Trying to find opportunities, but James Blint looks to have had a moment for just a second. He did! James Blint had a moment somewhere, slowing down at turn 5, it looks like. James Leader still 23 seconds adrift. Not that it's going to make a huge impact. Fazal now 7 seconds adrift of Pinell. What happened? He must have missed something for it to have opened up like that. Pinell's passed. I think that's Simon Kempman. Fourth place in the category for John Crane right now in the number 23 Aston, 7th overall. I figure that's what happened to you, Gas Man. Sorry about that, brother. It's less than 20 minutes left to go, and the game crashes on you. It'd almost be better if it happened in the first 20 minutes. That way you wouldn't have to keep trying. Or you at least have an opportunity to drive back into it, because your controller's probably locked out. Probably going to still drop down the order after getting passed by Francisco Jr. Gonzalez. Not much you can do there. Yes, Gas 300 is Greg Shane. Looks like Robert Wally has managed to keep trundling on despite that damage that he incurred at the pit wall. There's a good joke in there for Robert Wally when he hit the wall. I just wasn't quick enough to think of it. Sorry, folks. You guys deserve better. Oh, Robert Wally getting around Pinell right now. A little flashy of his presence. Oh, little side-by-side door banging from Walia on Pinell on the entry to turn 6. I think Walia may not have realized that Pinell was still there, not quite backing out of it. Pinell making his presence known. Walia making his presence known with a little bit more flashing to boot, giving himself the additional 10 horsepower he needed to pass Pinell in the same category. 10 minutes on the clock. James Blint 16 seconds in the lead of James Leader. Yeah, he was. He was going to have a good battle with Adam Pridgeon as that gap kept on coming down. Fasal not able to recover from whatever incident happened to get him away from Arthur Pinell. Only 3 seconds now, but 9 minutes left. I'm not sure what he's going to be able to do. Looking at Simon Kemp right now, he's a little bit further back than he can be for touching distance of Pasha Patterson. But battle of attrition, he will garnish 3rd place in the category. And the experience of running these endurance races here at PSR and the multi-class aspect too. Not a lot of places where you'll get the really good experience of running this tight, twisty track and getting overtaken so many times in a row. It really is good overall driving experience and awareness to have and be comfortable with. Luis Santamaria, not again. Not again, Luis Santamaria at the top of 11. Red flag, yellow flag there. Get it spun around almost the right way. Oh God, who is that? Holy Toledos are out. There's a lot of people trying to make his way around. Oh no, that's Adam Pridgeon spun around. Didn't make his way around cleanly. Thank goodness it was just other traffic, other GTDs he was getting passed by. Thank goodness for that. That was awfully close. Luis Santamaria having a lot of moments at BMW, just not as stable as I bet he hoped it would be. Having a lot of issues. I think it looked like bottoming out probably in certain places, maybe with a fuel load difference or something. I'm not sure. Simon Kemp learn how to get overtaken almost to a professional level, I bet at this point. And he's done a great job of trying to keep to his line and letting the other cars find his way around him. I don't think he's been involved in a lot of incidents. He's had some tricky situations where he's been caught in. So good things to Simon Kemp. Way to learn on the fly. Back at Luis Santamaria, who's chasing down Don DeBean, only a second adrift. 6th place for the category for Santamaria, 5th place for DeBean. Oh my God, are you kidding me? Fasal has caught up to Pinell again. Whatever happened and caused that 7-second gap to grow has come back down. Here's Santamaria on DeBean, side by side into 6. Luis Santamaria is through around the outside of turn 6, but has a drifto moment through 7, checks up. DeBean backed off, let him have it gracefully. Looking at Fasal and Pinell's battle. comes. Fazal's leading the charge down the back straight. He's going to want to try to get around the outside of Pinell again this time. And hold on for dear life. He's been working this a couple times now. Let's see if he's got what it takes. He's got side-by-side presence on the brakes early, tucking in behind for 10. Tucking in behind for 10B. Okay, over the hill of 11. Got nothing to do now but just wait. It's 4 minutes left on the clock as they cross the line. I think they're going to get 3 more now. Let's see how he plays them out. Oh, Pinell, huge mistake at turn 3. Cuts across the grass, stays in front. Nope, he gets behind Mike Fazal, and that's how the battle ends. And Pinell gets a 15-second penalty for cutting, irregardless of if he's able to snap back and get in front of Fazal. That'll be it for Pinell's effort. Now he's got to worry about keeping in front of John Crane, actually, because John Crane's only 20 seconds back. John Crane is probably kicking it into overdrive now. 19 seconds behind. He's got 4 seconds to make up on Pinell, and third place is his. Can he do it? Not with these faster cars trying to get through him. Luis Santa Maria is going to get ahead of John Crane any second. Trying to stick his nose in at turn 3. Not quite there yet. Gonna have to wait till the bottom of the hill, I believe. "17-second gap from Crane to Pinell. This ebb and flow has been happening for the past hour and a half. Now John Crane is letting the floodgates open, pedal to the metal, telling Luis Santa Maria to back off, don't get in my way. He's only got to shave off another couple of seconds. John Crane has got clear air in front of him. I wonder if they'll get another lap out of this. Pinell's got somewhat clean air in front of him. 1 TCR, Fred Soderstedt. Can't hold him up by too much, I don't think. I don't think we're going to get a bonus lap here. Excuse me, we are going to get a bonus lap. Peter will cross the line. Everybody else will have to follow one more. John Crane may have it in the bag. Go, Pinell, go. You've got to drive your stinking heart out. 16 seconds is the gap. Pinell's got traffic ahead. That looks like Pasha Patterson at the top of the hills. Pinell's going to have to wait now. He's parked at the top of the hill. Had to back out of that. Oh, no. Pinell, you got to keep going. Your race isn't over yet. John Crane did cross the line, it looks like, at 16 seconds. Don DeBean got a 5-second time penalty applied to his final time. Looks like John Crane may have been behind the leaders and crossed the line, finishing that out for him. Pinell still got to keep going from what I can tell. James Glen takes the win. Overall victory going out to him. James leader in P2. Robert Walia with third place overall. First place for his category. Adam Pridgeon in P4. Third place for GTLM so far. Wait for him to cross the line before we continue on. As they're going to have everybody else also getting their checkered flags at the same time. Crossing the line, Adam Pridgeon, Mike Fazal, and Adam Pridgeon in third place for GTLM, Mike Fazal in second place for GTD, Pinell in third for GTD, John Crane in fourth. Only a 2.3 seconds away from getting Pinell's third place trophy. And then we have Luis Santamaria, who had a lot of incidents in this race just on his own, pushing that car as hard as he could. Don DeBean, Francisco Jr. Gonzalez in last place for GTLM category, in 10th place overall. Fred Soderstedt in first place for the TCRs. Pasha Patterson in second place for TCR. And Simon Kemp taking home third. Back into Discord and talk to the Pine Man.
Blint was only a couple seconds away from doing 69 laps.
Aw.
Damn it.
Hello, I'm looking for the Pine Man. Is he here?
Who?
What is this voting session?
Oh, Pinell. Yes, I'm here. Pinell.
Arthur Pinell, a heck of a second stint that you had getting chased down by Fazal. What was going on?
The car came out from underneath me at turn 5, and then I spun into the wall, smashed into it. Thankfully, I didn't get any suspension damage, but I demolished my front bumper. So I was a solid second and a half slower per lap. And then I was just trying to hold him off, and then you saw that we touched. I ended up getting suspension damage from that as well. So it was just a matter of time until I got overtaken.
Gotcha. Yeah, I was wondering what happened, and is that what sent Fazal about 7 seconds back behind you when you guys touched?
Yeah, that was that.
Gotcha, because yeah, I couldn't tell what happened, but then all of a sudden you guys were a little bit further apart, and then at the very end, trying to hold on as much as you could, you get a 15-second penalty for cutting within the last 5 minutes of the race, and John Crane was less than 20 seconds behind you. Were you sweating or what?
I didn't. I was just trying to go as fast as I could to make sure nobody got past with that penalty. But yeah, I ended up making a massive mistake though. That's why I ended up going off, and how Michael went through. That was also where I got my penalty from, because I slowed down a lot in the gravel, but it still gave me the penalty. And the reason why I was in the gravel was because I was on going into turn 2. Michael was behind me, and then I go to brake. I brake at my point, and then the track just disappears in front of me because it's so dark. I don't see the curb, and then on my force feedback, I just feel grass, and I'm like, ah, shit.
Oh, absolutely understood. Yeah, it was just pitch black darkness out here, so completely understood how that happens.
But, I got a podium, so that's good.
I wouldn't consider that good. I consider that amazing.
Well,
That was a
Yeah, that
pretty
could be
good
said.
finish because you were talking about how you didn't have the pace to hold on to the two guys at the front, and you did the entire time, basically. I thought that was pretty amazing.
Thanks.
Right on. And is John Crane here?
Yes, I'm here.
And John Crane, did you know about the 15-second time penalty in the last 5 minutes of the race?
I think I heard something in the comms, but it didn't affect me anyway at all. It was just a matter of holding on, dark track, slippery tires, and me driving. That's a handful right there.
I was watching that interval come down. It was 20 seconds, 18 seconds, 16 seconds, 16.3. And had you have gotten one more lap, John, I think you would have been able to chase down Pinell with that damage that he had. That was exciting. At least I saw it.
Yeah, I let the leader through on the last, I think, it was the last lap. And so I backed off a bit there. Again, what could have, should have, it's all right. I'll take my 4th place any day.
Absolutely. Traffic giveth and traffic taketh, right? I think Don DeBean didn't get the traffic giveth part as much as he thought he would.
That's true. Just look at my average lap time. It's awful. Yeah, I struggled big time. 2 things. Trust. That was the biggest thing on my own, trusting my car and myself after I spun on corner 5, because it really unsettled me, because I went, that just never happens. I can really push through there. And up to that point, I was right up there with everybody, and I felt like I had the same pace. But I did a 360 and kept going, so it was no big deal. And I was nobody who was behind me hit me, so that was great. And then the TCRs were further back, so I had a clear track to it. I just kept going. But after that, man, I couldn't push the car to where I normally would, and so I was a little off pace there. And then some of the passing, it was actually pretty good, but I noticed a lot of my laps were like 2 or 3 seconds off my quali pace. And I thought, oh, that's not good. I'm probably giving up spots just a bit too easy or at the wrong time, but yeah, after a while, I just went, okay, just put your head down, don't crash anymore, and do your best. And that's where I ended up, last place. That's okay. That happens.
It is okay, and that does happen, but absolutely, you were on track, had a ton of pace in that 360. You're absolutely right, because I think Luis Santamaria is the other person that was plagued by spins and uncomfortability with their car. Was it just like your car was bottoming out in that one spot, or just something weird happened?
You know what? I'm gonna attribute it to me, and I went, because I was, if you look at my interval times on quali and practice laps and that, that sector through the S's, I was really fast, because I could stay flat the whole way, and then hard on the brakes, and then up the hill on turn 5. And that time I just remembered, just 0.1%, a little more turn in, and getting on the throttle 0.1%, a little too early. I knew I was pushing it, but I had confidence that the car was going to be okay. I wasn't over where I was in the bumps where the car gets unsettled, and it just started to come around. And when it does there, you're a passenger. I counter-steered, I braked. It just decided it was going to spin. And so I believe that was more driver error. But one thing I've noted during the race is that as the grip came up, my lap times went down. And that's so weird, because it should go the other way, right? Or at least you should maintain your lap times, because the tires are deteriorating. But I couldn't turn fast lap times with 100% grip. I was much better at 98. So I don't know, maybe my tires were going a little more than they should, or whatever. But some mysteries there to sort out.
I'm definitely curious about that too. I know Greg had talked about tire pressures being a big thing as the day turned into night, and that having a big effect on lap time. So I wonder, if tire wear, tire degradation had a big effect as well because of this race being extended a little bit differently than the others.
Yeah, hard to say. Yeah, it was a pretty big temperature difference, right? Because it was down at 15°C, I think, at nighttime. And but my tire pressures were all in the green, so they're all okay. Wasn't that? So I'm not sure what it was.
Man, and speaking of Greg Scheimer having a DC within the last quarter of the race, pretty much taking him out. We were about to see a good battle between him and Adam Pridgeon, who had taken a miraculous undercut, and somehow that just worked out for him in his favor.
Yeah.
Was that
my
in the
tires
cards? Did you plan that?
Yeah. My tires were just dropping off like crazy in the first stint, and I mean, I had like locked them up so many times, so I knew that if I changed a little early, I would probably be able to keep the grip for the second stint. So that was my strategy. I was like, my lap time dropped significantly, so I pitted immediately, and then somehow managed to not completely kill myself. Had a lot of almost incidents, but sorry for Greg. He had a crash, so we had a good battle going till that happened.
Yeah, not only did you have a couple of near misses and the almost battle with Greg, you had a big avoidance, I think, at the top of the hill at turn 11. I think that was Luis Santa Maria was stuck there, and he did a nice pirouette 720 down into the grass of the old pit lane, and off into the pit straight you went, I guess.
Yeah. That was a Code Brown moment for sure. Just came over the hill, and then all of a sudden it was like a repeat of VIR almost. Like, come over the hill, and there's just a car sideways right in front of me, and thankfully I chose the right direction this time and didn't smash into him.
That's right. I completely forgot about this being an exact replica of the VIR incident that you had.
Yep.
And another GTP car as well.
Yep.
Oh, right on. And then James. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, overall, pretty pleased with third place given how many spins I had. So let's go Blue Gang.
Absolutely. And then remind us what happened to you early on in the race. It seems like nothing ever goes right for a race start for you.
Yeah. I think I'm just cursed, or it's just lack of practice. I'm not sure.
Alrighty then. Let's find out what happened to James Leader, because he really tumbled back at the start of the race, and I think was right next to Francisco Jr. Gonzalez for the opening lap or two.
Yeah, lap one, I was on the outside going into turn one. I just left too much space on the inside and clattered the end of the exit curb, and it just popped me up in the air and off into the grass. So caught it, lost a couple of spots, had to get back through some couple of the GTD cars. But yeah, once I worked my way up, during the day I had some pretty decent pace and kind of maintained the gap up to James Blint. But as soon as the sun came down, I just lost all my visual references and couldn't keep up the pace anymore. I was like a second or more a lap down, just guessing at where corners were. But yeah, it was a fun time.
That's really what it looked like, people having to guess at the corners, because there's absolutely no visual references anymore once the sun goes down, is there? There's no illumination on the track, and visibility is pretty short from what I could tell. Is that true?
Yeah, there's some lighting on the chicane, so there I was able to still push, but man, through the S's, it's so dark, you can't see anything.
Man, that is rough, but still managed to just keep within touching distance of James Blint for the first stint, I will say, and then, like you said, just drifting away from you in the second half. But you put up a hell of a fight. I was really rooting for you.
Yeah, thanks. I think I may still have fastest lap of the race. I'm not sure, but I did at one point.
You did. It was in the first stint, I think, and I wonder if that held on. So yeah, we'll find out. Well, hats off to the Blue Gang. That's a nice 2-3 finish for them.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you.
And off to TCR, Pasha Patterson. How did the weather fare you for this Motul Petit Le Mans simulation?
Well, I mean, from a drama perspective, it was actually pretty chill. It really had some pretty good luck with traffic in terms of like not getting into too many scraps with people. Was a little bit unfortunate in where I met some faster cars passing, but overall it was a pretty chill race. Fred absolutely took me to school, almost lapped me there at the end, but I'm okay with that.
It looked like a pretty smooth and clean race for the TCR category. Everybody just kind of drifting apart, and of course we lost Alfonso Mason, unfortunately, having a DNF, and he dropped out after having a kiss with the wall for the second time. But you walked away with second place, and that should be second place for the championship as well, right?
It is. Fred and I were remarkably consistent in being up towards the front of the field, and the order in which we finished related to each other. So yeah, I think that's except for that one race where someone just sort of waltzed in and took the win. I think that's Fred P1 and me P2 for every race.
Right on, right on. Heck of a championship.
Super fun. I can walk away being okay with how I did. And most remarkably of all for me, I actually had fun today at Road Atlanta. It's a track that has historically not liked me very much. But having a nice wide screen with views of the corners and a solid rig to sit in has just made a world of difference.
That's right, I forgot that. You've always said that you really don't like Road Atlanta, and to be honest with you, this is one of my favorite tracks ever, so I'm glad you've become a convert, and maybe we'll be able to see each other out on one of these tracks these days.
Hope so.
I believe that's wrapped it up for me. I've touched base with everybody so far. We still obviously have to go through the penalties applied before we go with the official standings, but does anybody else have anything they want to say or add before we close up shop?
CSP.
I just want to say congrats to everyone. This was probably the best PSR championship that I've ever participated in. Hats off to Mike and everyone that contributed to it. So, yeah.
Yeah, here, ditto.
Absolutely. Well, that's it. Everybody, thank you so much. I'm going to wrap up the stream and see you guys shortly.
Thanks, Pat. Thanks, Sager,
Thanks,
for
Sager.
doing the streaming and all commentating. That was awesome.
Yeah.
Makes a whole different ball game out of it when you know you're somebody's out there calling the race, and afterwards it makes for good fun. So I'm gonna go and crack open a really tall can of beer and turn it on. So thanks a lot.
Right on. Thank you guys for entertaining me despite all the technical hiccups. I really do appreciate it. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Sagar.
Yeah,
Thanks,
thank you
Edgar.
so much, man. You killed it.
Thanks, guys. See you in a bit. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for coming to show up and hang out. We really appreciate it here at PSR. This has been the IMSA Challenge Championship 2022 edition, presented by Pro Sim Racing, co-hosted by GTP and Plebian Racing. And I will back up everything that Adam said earlier. Thank you so much to Mike for putting everything together. The spreadsheets, the details, the penalties applied, the servers, the practice servers, the rosters, the registration, Emiliano Videla and the GTP team for getting together the liveries, the decals, the number plates. Everything has been remarkable. Thank you to Luke Bowmeister of the Blue Gang for helping me and presenting me with all these graphics and overlays and just everything the team has been able to put together has been phenomenal. This is not something that I just did on my own. If you enjoy this, please make sure you go ahead and join the PSR Pro Sim Racing Discord or the Plebian Racing Discord or the Gran Turismo Panama Discord. Join us, be a part of the action, be a part of the fun. I will agree, this is the most fun I've had in a long time doing this stuff. So thank you so much for making this a possibility to the team at PSR, GTP, and Plebian Racing with all the accolades to the people we've mentioned earlier. Well, with that being said, I'm out. And as always, folks, stay safe.